Most European high-speed trains cap out at this speed,
302
with only a
km
few
sejam.
exceptions going a little bit faster.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Selamat kembali lagi ke channel Shahrizan Raja. Terima kasih kepada teman-teman yang telah subscribe kepada channel ini. Kepada teman-teman yang baru jumpa channel ini, mohon untuk tekan butang subscribe dan juga butang loceng. Okey guys, aku ada jumpa satu video berkenaan dengan kereta api laju di Indonesia guys. Rupa-rupanya ia adalah kereta api terlaju di dunia guys. Wow, pastinya aku memang sangat kaget berkenaan dengan info terbaru ini. Kita nak react kepada video dari channel Super Labs Travel. Wow, Bule ini menceritakan bagaimana beliau menaiki kereta api laju ini guys, dan kaget kerana kereta api ini adalah kereta api yang terlaju di dunia guys di dunia. Kereta api ini berjalan daripada Halim di Jakarta. Halim tu mungkin nama tempat, ke destinasinya di Bandung iaitu Tegaluar. Wow, dia punya laju 350 km per jam guys. Laju gila guys Jadi kita nak react kepada videonya guys. Mantap sekali guys. Jom, let's go. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Today, I'm finally riding the fastest train in the world,
Fastest
running
train in
at
the
up
world.
to 350 kilometers an hour across this Asian country. But this train is not in China or even Japan. This is the legendary Indonesian high-speed railway. Join me on board this brand new bullet train for an extreme high-speed and silky smooth journey, as I show you all classes of travel, including the exclusive first class. And all this as I cross Indonesia's beautiful rainforest at record speed. Hello and welcome back to another video, and a very special video indeed, as I'm here in Jakarta, Indonesia at Halim Station to catch the very first high-speed train in Indonesia. I'll be travelling on the Whoosh service over to Bandung. Let's go! Hello from the imposing new station of Halim, here in Indonesia's capital city and home to the city's high-speed trains. Now at the moment, the station is looking a little rough around the edges, as I was lucky enough to ride this train before its official launch.
Belum lagi
but I'm sure
official
the station will look amazing once it's finished.
Oh, sedang dalam pembangunan
Halim station
lagi.
is massive, similar on scale to many Chinese high-speed stations. As a result of this, it's a really long way out of the bustling city centre, though is well connected by commuter trains and local buses.
Oh, ada jaringan komuternya guys
Just inside the entrance, you can find a small exhibit about the Indonesian high-speed railway, its route, and the massive impact it has had on connecting cities. The lower level also featured a few food outlets, though these weren't in use yet. I came back a few weeks later and these were open. There was even a pop-up subway, which I think is rather cool. The station also features a customer service desk and ticket machines, though I'd recommend pre-booking online as these trains can be busy. With my ticket in hand, let's head upstairs. Tickets are inspected manually before you gain access to the waiting area, so make sure you have it to hand. Up here, you can find a bunch of seating and a cool model of today's train. But just wait until you see the real deal. It's much bigger. There's even a little exhibit explaining the history of Indonesia's railways. It was in Indonesian, but I found the pictures really interesting. All passengers are required to pass an airport-style security check, though this only took a minute. Once through, you can find a little art gallery and a merch shop. Railways have a large cult following in Indonesia.
Tak lagi. Merchandise pun ada guys.
Anyway, enough of the station. Let's head up to see this exciting new high-speed train. My train today is G1137, the 1535 service to Tegaluar. At the time of filming, just 4 of these trial services operated each day, with frequency slowly ramping up as demand increases. It's now an impressive 24 trains per day.
24.
And here it is, my high-speed ride down to Bandung today,
Masih baru
As
lagi.
you can see, this train has certainly attracted a lot of attention, with everyone desperate to have a photo taken with it, including me. This striking red train looks incredible in photos, but believe me,
Inshallah.
being stood next to this streamlined nose was even more exciting in person, and I really like this polygonal design throughout. This train is a KCIC 400AF, part of the Chinese Fuxing Hao family, built at CRRC Qingdao Xifang. It's no doubt a familiar sight for those with experience travelling on China's expansive rail network. As the name implies, it's capable of a mind-blowing 400 km an hour, though only reaches 350 km an hour in service. Still the world's fastest train by a comfortable margin. I'll be checking out all classes on today's trip, but my seat is in premium economy, which is the lowest class of service.
Premium class Kelas paling
Premium
bawah
economy
sekali.
is
Ni
in
dia,
a 2
economy.
plus 3 seating layout, with all seats rotated to face forwards. I did have a seat reservation, but as this service was quite empty, it didn't really matter. Today's route is simple. We depart from Jakarta, run through the rainforest, and before we know it, arrive in Bandung.
Alright guys, itu dia.
Journey time is 46 minutes,
46
covering
minit sahaja, guys,
141 kilometers
Untuk
or
sampai ke
about
Bandung.
87 miles.
141 kilo, 46 minit sahaja.
We depart
Wow.
on time at
Laju, guys.
15:35, rapidly accelerating out of Jakarta.
Okay, sudah
Down below,
menaiki.
we can see the motorway that goes to Bandung. Safe to say we'll be arriving there before they do, as car journeys between the cities can take over 3 hours.
Oh. Naik
Our
kereta 3 jam
acceleration is intense, yet despite this, the train remains dead silent. But before we reach top speed, let's have a look at the interior.
Ni dalam
Seats on the train look great,
Ni
with a
kerusi dia,
batik
guys.
Megamendung motif, this being a traditional cloth pattern from the nearby major city of Cirebon.
Cerabon.
The comfort of these seats really surprised me, as they were actually well padded and had some pretty decent ergonomic design. There was also a soft head cushion, which could be adjusted up and down like this.
Oh, ada cushion kepala guys.
By default, these seats are bolt upright, feeling unnatural. However, using this lever, the seat reclines very far back, which was much better. Between seats, you can find adjustable armrests. And on the seat in front, there's a small seatback table. This also features a groove for a drink. Down here, there's a pouch for storing your personal items, but as it's opaque, make sure not to leave anything behind. With this 2+3 seating, these trains would probably feel a little bit cramped if this service was busy. However, the legroom on offer is fantastic, with plenty of space to stretch out. I mean, just look at all this room. And even if the seat in front reclines, there's still more than enough space. Back outside, we are soon approaching the realm of high speed as we accelerate out of Jakarta. With over 10 million residents, Jakarta is one of the world's largest cities, and as such, it can take a long time to get out of it, even when you have a railway like this. We are currently running at 300 kilometers an hour,
300
which is
kilometers a jam.
unquestionably an impressive
Laju,
speed as
guys.
is, but yet there's more to come. Most European high-speed trains cap out at this speed,
302
with only a
kilometers a
few
jam.
exceptions going a little
Inshallah.
bit faster. By the way, I really have to mention how smooth this train is. Even at its top speed, the ride was silky smooth, and you could barely even tell we were moving.
Wow. Walaupun laju 300 km sejam tetapi
I was even
tak
able
ada
to stand a
goyang
£1 coin
Oh,
on its edge,
Duit
and
pun
it
tak
stayed
jatuh, guys.
upright for over
Tak ada
10
gegaran
minutes.
langsung.
Travelling at 350
350
kilometers an hour for the first time
350
was really
kilometer
something
sejam,
special,
guys.
with the scenery disappearing just as quickly as it appears.
Laju.
At this point, we speed through Karawang Station.
Kerawang.
The station here is planned to serve the nearby industrial park, though remains closed because it was not finished in time for the rest of the line's opening. And this extra station isn't the only thing planned either, with Indonesia wishing to expand this high-speed line to cross the entirety of the country's most
Surabaya.
populated island, Java. This plan is envisaged to cut Jakarta to Surabaya journey times from a minimum of 8 hours today down to just over 3 hours. We are now a decent distance from the city of Jakarta, heading into the tropical rainforests that cover most of the route towards Bandung. But before we get there, let's take a look around the rest of the train. The majority of the train is premium economy class, with 7 of the 8 carriages featuring these seats for a total of 555.
Itu dia
Carriage
guys.
5 features a buffet counter with a few small tables,
counter
though
makanan.
this was closed on my journey. Meanwhile, Carriage 4 has a wheelchair accessible toilet, though there didn't seem to be a wheelchair space. That is, except for up on this shelf, though I'm not sure how you're meant to get up there. Toilets can be found throughout the entire train.
Toilet.
These were of course very clean and kept in great condition. The soap dispenser was working fine, as was the water. Tissues are provided for drying your hands. In line with cultural norms, a handheld bidet is provided for washing, but those preferring Western style are also accommodated for. Carriage 1 features business class seating,
Business
with
class.
a 2+2 layout and large leather seats. This extra space would be very much appreciated on longer journeys, but is probably not worth it on this short ride. And lastly, each end of the train features a first class area,
First
with
class.
seats in an even more spacious 2+1 layout. By the way, these classes may also receive some form of complimentary service. But if you know anything about this, then please leave a comment. And here we are out in rural Indonesia, but don't blink as you'll miss the passing views. Much of the journey is spent passing in and out of tunnels, as a result of the hilly and mountainous terrain between Jakarta and Bandung. Not long later, we begin to slow down for our first stop. But this does allow us to catch a few glimpses at the old scenic route between the two cities.
Ni
And
kereta
yes,
api lama.
a video on that is coming soon. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. For luggage, these trains are equipped with large overhead luggage
bag-bagnya
racks
tak di atas.
throughout. There are also large luggage stacks near to the
Bag yang
doors.
besar guys.
By the way, staff were really funny about how luggage was stored, and if even a tiny bit of your bag strap was hanging off, they would force you to tuck it away. I'm not sure what that was about, but it was really quite strange. Folding coat hooks were provided between every window,
Boleh gantung.
and all windows feature a very effective sunblind.
Boleh tutup.
There is also a small window ledge which can conveniently fit a phone. Between seats, there's a European-style
charger,
plug
guys.
socket and a pair of USB sockets. Our first station is Padalarang, served by both KCIC high-speed trains and the much slower
Padalarang.
narrow-gauge trains operated by Kereta Api Indonesia. The station serves the western side of Bandung, with the upcoming section of track featuring some incredible
Padalarang.
views of the city. Padalarang also sees a quick and easy connection to the free feeder train, which runs directly to the main station in the centre. As we climb out of Padalarang, we get a fantastic view of the sunset over the mountains we just crossed. From this elevated section of line, you can see many sights of the city, including this forest fire. Our speed here is limited to just 200 kilometers an hour, as this helps to reduce noise levels for the high-speed line's neighbours. So, how much did this journey cost? Well, I actually travelled for free during the promotional period.
Free guys
A regular one-way ticket costs up to 300,000 Indonesian rupiah, with the lowest price being half of this. This might seem like a lot of money, especially with Indonesia generally being a cheap country to travel in, but it's actually a similar price to the much slower classic trains, so in comparison, this is a really good deal. After a brisk ride across the country, we pull into Tegaluar after just 46 minutes at
Sampai dah dia
16:21.
keluar Bandung.
In conclusion, I really loved my ride on Indonesia's high-speed train. Just 10 years ago, trains in Indonesia would look like this. So the silky smooth and insanely fast modern bullet train really is going to be transformative, and I cannot wait to see the rest of the route finished. As always, let me know what you thought of this train in the comments.
Wow, itu dia guys. Tak aku sangka Indonesia ada kereta api paling laju di dunia guys, dengan kelajuan 350 km per jam guys. Laju gila guys, memang laju gila. Dan perjalanannya cuma mengambil masa 46 minit sahaja guys, daripada 3 jam perjalanan menaiki mobil guys. Wow, ini satu transformasi yang sangat besar yang dilakukan di Indonesia guys. Okay guys, apa pendapat teman-teman? Kepada teman-teman yang mungkin sudah menaiki bullet train ini, jangan lupa untuk tinggalkan komen teman-teman di kolom komentar di bawah guys. Wow, aku memang terkejut guys dengan kereta api baru ni. Wow, pastinya menjadi wisata, tempat-tempat pelancong datang untuk mengunjungi Indonesia. Menaiki bullet train ni mudah guys. Apabila ada contohnya perlawanan sepak bola daripada Jakarta ke Bandung, hanya menaiki bullet train 46 minit saja guys. Alright guys, apa pendapat teman-teman? Jangan lupa untuk tinggalkan komen ini di bawah. Terima kasih kerana menonton video ni sampai habis. Jangan lupa untuk tekan like, dan jangan lupa tekan butang subscribe dan juga butang loceng. Kita jumpa dalam video akan datang. Assalamualaikum.